Hello, I'm Lynn Shea.
And I'm Peter Wakefield.
And today we are doing the chart of Vivienne Westwood, iconic fashion designer and trendsetter in the most unique of ways. Born on the 8th of April 1941 in Tintwistle in Derbyshire. And because we don't have a birth time for Vivienne, we are using a solar chart, which is where we put the sun at the start of where the ascendant would normally be.
In the first house.
In the first house we use the sun. And actually Vivienne is Sun Aries with Moon in Virgo.
Yeah, Aries is always a firebrand, which the fire characteristics are very adventurous. And Vivienne has these characteristics. And it's conjunction Venus, which is the goddess of beauty
and feminine desire and rhythm
and design as well.
And design.
This is where she gets her flair from.
And in Aries, the Venus is always very distinguished and individually powerful.
Yes. So we have Sun conjunct Venus, very, very open and honest individual,
especially with Moon Virgo.
And the Moon in Virgo is an eye for detail.
It certainly is. It certainly is, yes.
Virgo gives that eye for small details.
Graphic design and small fine art.
Perfectionism as well. It's a perfectionist.
Very much so. Very driven. In the fifth house, we see somebody who is quite creatively driven. She's actually... What we've got as well here is we've got... this stellium of planets in her first and second house, so in solar terms. So she's got Saturn in Taurus, conjunct Jupiter, conjunct Uranus. And the Jupiter is cuspal.
Yes, and it's a chain of fashion shops, isn't it?
Yes.
Chain would be Taurus, fashion would be Uranus, and shops is Taurus. The expanse of that would be Jupiter, and of course the high street is Saturn.
It is, but she's got a square between Uranus and that moon, which shows that she's struggled. She's struggled financially with ups and downs, I think, too, and it's been slow progress for her in her early days, but she's made her mark.
Perhaps the perfectionism halts things in production, so that she won't allow things to be produced until it's absolutely right.
Well, yes, and actually contradicting or going against this very sort of strong Venus Sun Aries, which is very determined to succeed, is her Mercury in the 12th house Pisces, opposing the ruler of Pisces, Neptune, in the 6th house, and it's retrograde. So we see a kind of the conditions of being kind of undermined,
yeah.
or her in confidence,
yes,
perhaps because of being undermined.
Yes, and that blend of Aries and Moon in Virgo will make her, I think, irascible. You know,
irascible.
I had a grandmother who was Aries, and she was always impatient.
Yes.
Impatient of success and impatient of non-success.
Well, Aries wants everything now, immediately. Yeah. But that Virgo...
And the Moon in Virgo...
is the opposite, really. It's very patient.
Do you think so?
Yes, I think there'd be a dichotomy within her between that I must get on with it,
yes,
and the Virgo, but it must be right. So I must get on with it and it must be right. I'm kind of very driven and striven towards success. But the Neptune in the 6th can be anything. It's a karmic thing, isn't it? So it can be health matters, or it can be loyalty. It can be other people kind of holding you back, or trying to jump on your show, or undermining you.
I wonder if she's left-handed with that Mercury in Pisces.
I've no idea, but she sticks to her loyalty so much. She's loyal to her belief and loyal to her chosen work. Yeah. And especially creatively, because I mean, with Moon Virgo in the 5th, you've actually got to love the detail of what you're doing, or else it will get you down.
Yes, and that Mars in the midheaven.
She's got Mars
in Aquarius.
Well, I know, and it's opposition Pluto in Leo. So there's a great, powerful surge of creative personal energy onto the world of work. Look, because the 10th house, solar house, is the world of work, and Pluto is like exploding from underneath.
I've always seen her, you know, as a bit of a goth.
Oh yeah, she's.
Of course, she had that punk period with Malcolm McLaren.
She did.
And of course, I think this opposition of Mars and Pluto is indicative of that period, because punk music is the morphology of Aquarius.
Yeah.
Outrage and
quirkiness.
Is Mars in Aquarius.
And also I think that's the irascibility.
Yes.
Mars in Aquarius is very irascible and awkward, and will dig its heels in. And of course, Mars in Aquarius is a male sign, so she took a very
rebellious,
very rebellious. And I mean, the punk era and whatever, her clothes were distinctively rebellious against. I mean, not rebellious necessarily, but going against the norm, which is what the leading designers do.
Yes.
But some of them conform eventually, probably just to earn money. But
she broke ground with a lot of new.
This is it.
New age design.
This is what we see with Mars Aquarius, is that it is groundbreaking, and Aries is groundbreaking. See, because the Venus in Aries, Venus is yin. But in Aries, it's very determined. It's quite silently powerful. And Venus is in this 12th solar house, so it's silently powerful. But the Mars is more vociferous. It's more outspoken.
Yes. And although she didn't write the song, she was involved in that culture with Malcolm McLaren. I've got here punk music, rebellious and loud, which is Pluto, besmirching, which is the opposition, the Queen, which is Leo. And you remember in that song, the Sex Pistols song, they tried to denigrate the Queen, didn't they? In the lyrics,
I don't remember. Did they? And they tried to, or did they succeed?
Well,
it was
all tongue in cheek with hindsight now, but that Mars Aquarius opposition Pluto would be indicative of the type of energies that she was around at that time.
It's almost like a personal revolution.
It's a revolution, and it's a rebellion.
Yeah, quirkiness or individuality with that Mars. I think her progress has been slow, but she would, that Jupiter cuspal between 1 and 2 in the solar houses, she would put or throw all of herself into her prosperity. I would say is that she's invested in her own work financially to a massive extent.
Yes.
You know, because Jupiter in the 2nd, Saturn in the 1st would show that kind of need to take a risk with investment. And
in her senior years, I think she's 74 now.
She is, yeah.
Those planets in Taurus will give her voice.
Yeah, yes.
And
she's perhaps got a good singing voice.
Well, I was thinking, Lynn, from the point of view of campaigning, she's been campaigning recently.
Yeah, she is a campaigner. This is the Aries, and Venus would be women's causes as well.
Of course, Aries is politics.
Yes.
Taurus is giving voice and channeling the energies of Aries.
Well, I've got, yes, because Venus in the 12th and the Mercury in the 12th. It's a silent, strong individual who speaks through her endeavours. So she speaks only through her campaigns or her endeavours.
And she's got the resources to fall back on for the freedom to do that now.
Yeah, she has fear. Now. She very, very, very much has. She will be currently going through quite a lot of personal change because of Uranus going over that Sun Aries, which many Aries people are experiencing, and with the Venus there. I mean, Venus with that Sun in Aries it's not easy, I don't think, because the Venus in a chart shows the feminine, and in a woman's chart it shows how she defines her feminine.
Yeah.
Aries women are often very strong silent types, so they don't say a lot.
Very strong.
Yes, yes.
That Mercury in Pisces makes her very intuitive.
That it does.
She has a feel. That Pisces gives her a feel for tuning in to the zeitgeist, as it were.
You better translate what that is.
Well, that's the spirit of the times, and going back to the punk period, and she's always had a finger on the pulse in terms of what the new kids wanted, and now, of course, we're all. Perhaps I was one of those new kids in the 70s. I've grown up with the energies of Aquarius. And she's put
Mars in it is a pioneer.
She's put her finger
again
on the pulse in
she
many
has
ways.
a little like Bowie, whose ascendant is in Aquarius. We're going to find that all the people we do who've made a mark on modern society or modern civilization maybe will have aspects to Aquarius or planets in Aquarius, because Aquarius, of course, is the age of Aquarius, so Aquarius is that leading edge. Vivienne has definitely struggled with this Mercury opposition Neptune, which is would have made her very it could be just that she was creatively very dreamy.
Is that loggerheads with the mother or maternal?
Or maybe one of the sibling, one of her sibling. I don't necessarily know.
Grandparents.
Yeah,
perhaps.
could be.
Something domestic at least.
But the Uranus
family.
Well, the Uranus squaring the moon would suggest breaks with the mother or financial hardship around the mother to a great extent. See, Uranus in the second, Uranus always breaks the rhythm of anything. So second house Uranus people, it's kind of like rags to riches, isn't it? It's like it's going to be one thing or another. 12th house, second house Uranus, sometimes 8th house by courtesy of other people. But this is solar, don't forget. This is a solar chart. But even so, we tend to find that even when we use an ascendant, that if we transpose everything to a solar chart, it concurs. So somehow the second house is suggestive of ups and downs and strong breakthroughs, because don't forget, exoterically, Uranus rules that Mars, which is in the 10th.
Yes, of course. The Jupiter in Taurus, to my mind, it makes her very generous as well.
Yes.
With her resources.
Yes.
But
so she won't know the difference between what is hers and what is she sees no boundaries. It's like, well,
of course, those planets in Taurus gives her a love of art, and perhaps she'll invest in art.
Well, designing is art, isn't it?
Buying pictures.
Yeah, she'll like nice things.
She will.
She'll like nice things. But
in Ray terms, it's harmony. It's art and harmony through conflict.
If we think Aries always has to be the best it can be, it has to be the best at everything if it can. It likes to be first. It likes to be at the forefront.
Yes, definitely.
So she's been at the forefront of changes within.
It's a sign of the pioneer.
Oh, definitely.
Pioneering.
And Aries likes to fight for things. So if they come too easily, they get bored.
It doesn't settle for second best.
No, definitely not.
No.
So
Vivienne has been groundbreaking in a lot of respects.
She has. And I think at that point we will leave it. And we hope you join us again for our next Celebrity Pod. If you would like more information on our astrological services, please go to www.perceptivity.co.uk. Thank you.
Or go to LinkedIn, Peter Wakefield.